Welcome back. Traffic stops are one of the most common ways that people come into contact with police. For years, we've seen cell phone video of those traffic stops turning into confrontational and sometimes dangerous incidents. And those incidents have sparked protests across the country. Some of them have turned deadly. It's also forcing lawmakers and law enforcement to rethink about policing in the community. Tonight, we're hearing a story about a man who had a positive encounter with the police when he was pulled over for speeding. That stop went viral after a police officer ripped up his ticket. Activist and author Dwayne Bryant is here in the studio tonight. He is our hometown hero. So, Dwayne, you had this traffic stop. It was a positive experience. Tell us about it.
Sure. I was driving from Chicago to Battle Creek, Michigan. I had a speaking engagement there. And some kind of way, the speed limit changed from 70 to 60, and I was going 80. A trooper welder said, hey, you are doing over 20 miles per hour. I can either give you a $500 ticket or you can go to jail. I'm like, whoa, wait a second, what? And so after talking to him, he brought back a $150 ticket. I said, hey, can I take a picture of you? He said, why? I said, I have students that believe if a black male have an encounter with a white male officer, it's going to be a fatality. And I said, I want to show them that you're not the only one with power in the stop, but I had power with my word choices, my tone, my body language, et cetera. And then he said, wait a minute, you have power? I said, yeah, I think so. And he took the ticket back, and I was like, oh, he's gonna shoot me now for real. And he took the ticket, ripped it up, and gave me a warning, and that was the beginning of the stop journey.
So how do you take that lesson that you learned and take it into other areas of your life? And how do you teach other people to use your experience in other areas of their lives?
Sure. I think that lesson is powerful in life because if we teach anyone that you have no power, then we're teaching them that they're powerless. So when I'm talking to my students or communities across the country, it's always from a point that you have power. In this encounter, even if this officer is what the FBI has said, some officers are Ku Klux Klan members or neo-Nazis that are in law enforcement. Even in that particular situation, you still have to use your power. You still have to engage your mind. And also you have to engage your spirit because that's more powerful than the physical flesh to me. And
unfortunately, there are so many police officers who are doing the right thing every day, most of them, 99% of them. But there is an unfortunate reality for people of color in this country, right? Sure. Where they have to talk to their young sons about how to behave if they're stopped by the police. What do you tell people of color about police encounters, and what do you tell police about these community members who might be fearful of them?
Sure. Well, I remind them when we were in driver's ed, it said when you pull up to a stop sign, you pull up, you stop, you look both ways. And I always say you have to look both ways. You look into your future. Where are you going in life? Do you want to be a positive, powerful, productive person? And then you got to think about this individual that's coming. You don't know who he or she is. You don't know what kind of day they had. So what I say is everyone should be looking to bring mutual respect, share responsibility, and accountability to every police encounter. And if we do that, then chances are the probability of everyone going home safely is greatly increased. So I just think everyone has accountability in every police encounter.
Do you still keep in touch with the officer? That's the question I have.
Sure. So Trooper Weller, he and I occasionally keep in contact, but his boss, Dave Burston, we speak to each other at least 2 or 3 times a year. Absolutely.
And what did that teach them? I mean, what was the officer's reaction, his boss's reaction about how you behaved?
Well, what's funny is he was known as the Bulldog because in his 8-year career, he's written over 6,500 tickets, never ripped up a ticket. And so for him to do this, they were like, exactly, they're like, what happened? And he said, he just said everything so perfectly. So we did a ride along with them. I actually went out to the Indiana State Police and actually spoke with them. And so it had become a nice union because I realized in that encounter that encounter was bigger than just he and I. That was an encounter that perhaps we can transform the police community relations in America.
And obviously there's been a huge response to it.
Yes, it has been.
Yeah, all right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You are the recipient of awards, you're a public speaker, you're a best-selling author. We appreciate having you here and sharing the lesson with us.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.